The next movie we're going to take a look at is Vampire Circus. I myself think that this is a fairly strong entry into the vampire franchise for Hammer Films. Not everybody agrees with me. It has a completely different crew. There's Robert Young, who I'm not really familiar with, directed it. It does have something to do with the Karnstein, so I considered it kind of like an unofficial sequel to like the Karnstein Trilogy. And I think the most controversial part of this film is the way it victimizes children. What was the first segment we're going to watch there, Kevin?
Well, the first segment we're going to watch is the opening. It's going to be like a 10, 12-minute segment. Well, let's watch that first, and then we will comment.
She winds up being an important part of the revenge plot later on.
Right, but she gives birth to those twins. Remember my children. And this is probably where she got pregnant.
Good point.
Well,
and
she's
funny though, because
still a whore. I don't care.
I'm just going to say this right now, and I don't know if it's politically correct or not, but if there was a gayer-looking vampire in the Hammer universe, I haven't seen him.
I agree with you.
This guy has fruit written all over him, but apparently she didn't think that.
Some women are in that thing, sort of thing.
Yeah,
he had good hair.
Some people like the pretty boys. I don't get it myself.
Well, this whole movie seemed to have a pretty boy complex.
It did, and I know they were going opposite because you can't do the manly one. You've got Christopher Lee for that one. Any attempt to bring a real man into it outside of him wasn't going to work.
Plus, he had nothing to do with the Karnstein series anyway.
His
yeah,
rank organization helped do all this.
Looking at the Karnstein,
walk away knowing this guy should have been killed at first scene. This guy is, of all the characters in any book I've ever seen, he's one of the most reprehensible.
Well, plus I don't understand because she is his wife, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And now, I mean, on the get-go, suddenly there's this air of suspicion with everything, and
yes, well, that was it. I found it hard to follow the first couple of minutes.
Like, okay, how did she become involved with the vampire? Why was she out trolling for his victims and stuff like that? I don't know. That definitely was never really developed in the movie, that's for sure.
Exactly. And how he knew to watch her, and then all of a sudden,
not the castle.
Let's do this. Then all of a sudden, hey, we gotta go in and stop it. This guy.
Okay.
I hate his character.
And again,
I hate his character.
It's probably one of those things where this is a movie that doesn't pretend to be Shakespeare. It claims to be about vampire circuses, and by God, there's a vampire circus in it.
Well, you sir are correct with the midget.
Well, they did get that part right.
And of course,
yes.
Later on, we'll be seeing the biggest name in the movie. Not here, though.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it wasn't. I mean, the opening was good. I just felt like there was just way too much going on instead of focusing on, a true single plot point. They just had and this happened, and this happened, and this happened.
Yeah, it's all about revenge and victimizing the innocent as a revenge against what. Anyway, I suppose now that we've done all that, I'm certain we've more than set up this club. There he is. Okay. Tell me, seriously, now this is a horrible picture right here. Innocent little child. Okay, tell me that's not the gayest looking vampire you ever saw.
And of course she's unbraiding her hair because that represents the loss of innocence.
Quite possibly.
He's a pedo.
Well,
the lady has serious issues.
Yeah, she does. And she's reprehensible. He is more than she is. This school teacher here is such a weak-kneed piece of crap.
Right. And also, how many kids does it take before they go into the castle?
Right. And the only reason he wants his wife back because he can't do it himself because he's a wuss.
Well, I think they kind of bring that up after they break into the castle. They kind of touch on that a little bit.
Okay, arguably at the time, that was Thorley Walters there as the mayor, the Burgermeister, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Thorley Walters, he was an accomplished supporting actor. He did a couple of Frankenstein movies too.
Still looks like Dr. Bombay to me.
Hmm.
Dr. Bombay. There's a British actor who doesn't get his due, Bernard Fox.
Good point. See, I kind of almost expected him to say, "Go get your brother." Thorley Walters.
Well, I'm leaving. Shoot, no, not. Your daughter is in there with my wife. If your wife's in there, maybe she would know.
And that character is such a shit.
This is a little bit over the top, even for
71?
yeah. Even just this is the kind of thing you expect from a movie that ever says anything about the Karnsteins.
Yeah, but the other Karnsteins, you don't really... No, that's not totally true.
Well, one thing I noticed about the Karnsteins is that there's a lot more female agency in the movies, and a lot more
True.
sex.
Right.
I mean, is Hammer trying to tell us something? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do anything for a buck.
That too.
Well, however, here we are 70 years, 50, 60 years later, and we're still praising them.
Well, me for one.
She's just a nasty piece of baggage.
You like the way these guys don't even know how to make a real cross when they're praying?
That's how they do it in Europe.
It's like they weren't sure if they're going to do it.
What have you done with my wife? Only what she wanted. Schoolmaster.
And he can't even do a direct attack. He's got to throw something. I mean, this school teacher is actually... So all these people died because he can't be a man enough for his wife. I mean...
You gotta admire the Burgermeister here.
No, he went for the crotch.
Backstabbing. Yeah. I always thought that's true, too.
Yeah,
It's
well, I
taking
killed
the
the
heart.
vampire. He's all right.
Yeah, but he did from the back after somebody else was getting attacked. Everybody else does it direct. He has to go this way.
And there's this slutty vampire-loving wife.
Yeah.
She's a blood shark.
Punch shark.
Town of Stater will die. Your children will die. To give me back my life.
Slap her. She didn't even get slapped in this, man.
It looked like it was ready for anything there.
We've killed him. We've rid our village of evil.
Oh, if only you knew. I guess the other thing about this, though, is what they should have done and what they didn't do. Another good point.
Oh, plus, I mean, like with the break in lore, because like they staked him, but it's almost like they put him in a state of
Suspended animation.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is,
the blood for reincarnate or whatever you want to call it, but
also they didn't like cut his head off either.
no, or piss on his ashes.
You know that too, would that work?
What?
If you burn them and piss in their ashes, would that like stop them?
I I'm not sure if pissing on the ashes would matter, but
Did you drink any holy water before you pissed on the ashes?
And that's a good point too. Maybe we need to try that in a movie.
Why did he
This
stop?
guy-
Why did he stop?
Because they were going to kill her
wait.
another way.
He's got a better idea.
They're going to beat her to death. Remember?
Well, they don't even try to beat her to death.
Well, they were going
Well,
to.
they
Till
were-
this
yeah,
anyway,
and
stop.
had to do an
the
S&M
schoolmaster
for
gets
like
involved.
30 seconds and let her run off.
That's because Pussy Boy
the
stopped.
schoolmaster, exactly, the schoolmaster. Well, watch.
Mr. Weak Need, Mr.
That's right. And nobody asked the question if she is a vampire too, which I thought was a little weird.
Stop it! Please! I beg you!
I'm still a pussy.
Well,
Well, I'm
yes.
just saying, if, of course, had they actually done their duty and destroyed evil, then this would have been a shorter movie.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's all because he's a wuss.
What?
And what's
not
funny
you.
is, it always, you can't really burn stuff and blow it up enough to get rid of the vampires.
Yeah, especially since the body remains intact as they show. But do you know any production history? Was this started as a fourth installment of the Karnstein
No,
Trilogy?
I don't know if there's any kind of even thinking about that. But the thing is, the Karnstein shadows over it.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, like, he's a count.
And you also see rank organization in the beginning with the gong.
Yes,
They're the ones who help.
they were a big part of Hammer for a while. He's telling him to go get his fish knife and black pumps.
Yeah. I have to look.
You
Don't
I
forget
have to
the
look
I
back
work-
at this movie.
in. It would have been funny if they had more sadistic Lee as they were doing this.
What do you mean?
Well, like, remember John Cleese in Camelot when he was Lancelot, and every time he started killing people, he really got into it?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you want him throwing the burning cask into the building or what?
Well, like, like they were really,
If you're going to
really
get
enjoying it.
if you're going to get an angry mob, there should be a lot more destruction in this. That I agree with him on. Okay.
Okay, so that's the first segment. My biggest thing is one, there was a lot of stuff going on that didn't gel really, and they had characters, they threw in stuff, and you don't know why they threw in the stuff.
Maybe if they would have taken one more minute to set up some backstory or to show some backstory.
Or ask the writer to take more than 3 days to
Well,
come up
like-
with script.
Well,
There's
that's
some continuity offered when the circus comes to town. They kind of like develop a couple of things and tell you a few things, but you're right. It isn't. There's a lot of things that don't get developed or make sense or make connections, especially in the opening segments.
Exactly, like the twins.
Well,
You got to
even-
figure out.
Like towards the middle, heading towards the end, you have the villagers running in when they're starting to attack the circus in some ways. But then the next
Because-
scene, they show people watching the circus, with the twins and their little,
well.
Yeah.
Early
axe
on, there's a
things.
kid who disappears for 5 minutes, and the parents flip out and they start accusing but the kid gets found, and then everybody's copacetic
Right.
again.
And then you got the animal, and I agree with you, the animal killing and them coming back. I said to myself, how the hell does that work? How the hell does that work? Oh my gosh, I don't know. And they killed that poor chimp. I mean, those bastards, man.
Yeah, why was the chimp even there? They should have shot the dwarf. I'm sorry, my
maybe it was a
anti-dwarf bias here.
Maybe it was a misbehaving chimp. Maybe it was a bad monkey, right?
He was just laying there behaving himself.
He never got out of the cage.
He was banging on the boards. He was frothing at the mouth to get out.
Well,
Well,
if
then
that
I
He
was
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 him,
waiting to tear
didn't
somebody's
get
face
out.
off.
does that make him evil?
Everybody,
I
everything in the
didn't do
circus
anything
was evil.
either.
Everything in the circus was evil. Everything.
It was, the ape wasn't. He just wanted what everybody wanted, a taste of freedom. I mean, he's living his life. He's like,
no. Just
That's
'cause
right.
have some
He was-
sympathy
he was in
for
on it.
fellow creatures.
He
You
was in
saw
on
his
it.
penis.
Beth is one of those 95% of our DNA's got people. I'm thinking, what the hell does that mean even? But it's
I don't know.
okay.
I just know y'all
chimps are evil.
racist, and it pisses
Chimps
me
are
off.
evil, rapacious bastards.
But
Okay, so
anyway.
then we really went far afield on this one. What's the next segment?
Anyway, the next segment, this is like again kind of following up on like the confusion in the movie. It's the meeting where they're talking about what's going on,
Well,
and
before
they introduce that rabies thing.
well, that's what it is for.
Bring out your dad.
Bring out your dad.
Well, dead.
And the thing is, he's Orthodox.
Yeah, but everybody speaks German.
God knows what's going to happen.
And now we have the doctor who wasn't there or wasn't even part of this 15 years ago, who's telling you what happened.
You still say there's a curse on us?
It's a disease. Something that can be stopped. It's more than that.
And we know it.
Now, is this the first of these scenes? Because there's two of them. There was two before he goes.
This is the first one. Yeah, this is the first one.
And
This is
you're
one before he
saying
goes.
it's just a disease.
Well, this is the first one. The thing is, what happens is they show this, then they show the circus coming in and exchanging, and then he gets the mayor to sign that whatever he signs,
Right.
which doesn't make any sense because he would have been shot anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I don't. I don't have to.
I can get past the roadblocks. I can bring back knowledge and medicines from the capital to stamp out the disease. Whatever it is. How do we know you'll come back? Would you prefer to go in my place? Well, I wouldn't know what medicines to obtain, would I? Or not.
God, you are such a pussy.
Dr. Kirsch, little medicines will help us. 15 years ago, we thought we killed the demon. But he'd been waiting in his castle to kill us.
Well, there's also a couple of the townspeople are kind of admirable. Most of them aren't.
Your two boys and your daughter, and my word, they're all well.
For how long? The town of Stettel will die.
Like I said, Thorley Walters to me is like a grand old man of
You didn't have to risk
the Hammer
driving us into his heart.
Studios days. I mean, he's not like Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing, but he appeared in plenty of movies, and he played some memorable parts.
Yeah.
And I believe it. I killed a man who seduced and killed the daughters of this village.
And who helped him, eh?
Forgive me, Albert.
See, that did what the fuck was that moment all about?
Well, who helped him was his
I
wife.
know.
But why he said sorry, I don't know.
You allowed that wreck of a castle to grow and fester in your breeding ground for who knows what diseases. Learning, filth, let's back. Vampire bats! Damn you, must you go on believing old wives' tales? The vampires exist only in legends. The imaginings of sick and diseased minds. Nowhere else. Legends. Nowhere else.
Ah.
He's kind of a hard ass, though. I like him.
Well, they kind of did. They did some weird things with his character, I thought.
There he is.
Inconsistent.
That's the one.
And there's the fucking dwarf.
I think it's interesting that we're reviewing this one right now, considering the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is coming out this weekend, right?
2
Yeah,
rave
well.
reviews. Whoa.
Well, I'm sure Disney didn't pay for any of them.
Of course not.
Well, there are CGI, right? They were complaining about not having live actors in there when everybody else was live actor.
And there,
But-
by the way, there he is, the man,
There's
Right.
Darth Vader himself.
David Prowse.
Yeah, David Prowse.
He's not a dwarf.
And this is not his only Hammer film, by the way.
No, it's not. He played Frankenstein's monster in a couple of them.
And he was
Yeah.
in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna say Julius.
Next one is The First Mirror of Life.
Well, there was
So
that
what
much
the
to say about
circus-
that last one.
What the circus has been there for a night. They've done a couple of a quick show, right?
Well, that last one to discuss it, yeah, I was upset because the guys are there screaming, but there again, there's inconsistencies in their characters throughout the whole thing.
Well, but I mean, it's like you got the townspeople. Obviously, it seems that the doctor obviously came in after the fact.
Right, and said it
but they
couldn't have
don't
been.
come out and say it. But
And the school teacher who was the one screaming, "We got to go in there. We got to break their balls. You guys have got to help me," because he didn't have the strength to do it himself, even though he was watching his wife take kids to the vampire. Is now saying the doctor's right. He wasn't a vampire. He was the one screaming for the bloodlust, and now he's the one screaming, "We can't do this, guys. We can't do this, guys." I'm sorry. I really hated the school teacher's character. Am I alone on that
Well,
one?
I don't understand. Yeah,
No,
it
I
seemed
agree
like
with you.
he could have been the crux of the movie, but he was too milquetoast.
a
He
fickle
was.
cuck.
He was horrible. I mean, it's like, and that's something else. I don't think the guy knew what to hang his hat on when he wrote the script. Because every minute they probably came to him and said, "Hey, wait a minute, we need to change this. You need to add animals, add that dancing." Which, by the way,
A dwarf. We need a
Kevin's
dwarf,
over-
goddammit.
well, that goes without saying, because it's Germany. Although it was an Orthodox priest. Kevin skipped the one scene I thought was the best scene in the film, but he's right. Even though it's the best scene in the film, it doesn't do anything to the film. The dance scene. I'm amazed they got away with that in '71 because she barely had anything on. She had a really skin tight, very very thin skin suit that you could even tell she had on when she was dancing.
But most of the angles were kind of far away. I mean, most of the shots were kind of far away.
But there were one or two that were not, and I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute, they're all cheering when these guys are kind of dancing naked in front of the children? Am I missing something here?
Well, I was kind of wondering. I thought somebody would have been screaming out witchcraft when they were doing the transformations, like, you know, the guy turning into a puma and then turning into a person again and stuff. And,
Yes.
you know,
Right.
when the twins were jump up in the air and then they turn into a bat, fly back, and then turn back into themselves. I thought, kind of looks like witchcraft to me.
Yeah, no one was really kind of sucked into any of that. So
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, she's dancing naked in front of the kids. That's fine. Hey, that's wholesome family entertainment.
here's a weird question. I had this thought, and it might be just totally errant. When was Something Wicked This Way Comes
I
published?
know, I thought that too. The book was already written by now, but the movie was not even a glimmer. 81 or 2?
I mean, because the shadow people from the circus come to town and make misery.
Right, and
That's
the
a
mirror,
good point.
and the
That
mirrors.
and the mirror sequences
And
and
the two kids looking, come
I mean,
back,
it was
boys.
reminiscent, but you know, I know if
Very
there was
reminiscent.
any
Very-
you know.
Well,
Very,
Jack Clayton did the actual adaptation of the Bradbury story. And I'm not sure where he got, because there's a lot of things he did in that actually were not in the book. As I understand it, Bradbury wasn't all that thrilled with it.
This is actually the first scene with the Mirror of Life. Although that's a pretty weird title for their thing, but
Magilda, some of you may
But I definitely see your point about this scene and the mirror scenes they had in the
Something wicked this way.
Something Wicked This Way Comes. Yes,
no, I thought
absolutely.
that too, especially when the two boys come back and I start looking through the mirrors because that's, straight out of Something Wicked This
So
Way Comes.
yeah, that's so
Where they're looking,
straight out of
they're
it.
looking past, looking into the tents. Come back, boys, when you're about 10 years older. And that was a midget there too. Dwarf, little person. What is the politically correct thing?
The shuddy. The shuddy.
Okay, and this kind of bothered me. Why is he laughing so much? And there's David Prowse again.
looking at the pretty boy.
Yeah, kind of invading their space, ain't they? Just saying, wouldn't they get you a little uncomfortable with that stuff?
Papa, tell us what you see.
It's not life, just distortions.
Boy, they must be really bored in that town.
I know.
One more mirror, then I'm going out.
Burgermeister must be drunk again.
What do you see now, Peter?
Nothing.
Just a Lou Reed backup singer.
None of you will live. The town
And here's something too. It's hard to have canon on this because it's hard to understand what powers the vampires really have.
Okay, I agree, but this is the kind of thing that I guess Hammer morphed into.
Okay. I put that in there because, again, they kind of set up a fairly interesting concept, but that kind of got
They don't go with
lost in the wash
don't
with
run with
everything else.
because it's like they have to bring in the twins and stuff like that. Why did they have
And
to bring
they're showing that the vampire does have some physical power, that he's able to manifest something on this plane.
right? And like you said, they had run with it, but it's like then why don't they use it all the way around? What's the limitations? Why couldn't they just got all
To
the
me,
kids in there and put it one shot?
I guess the reason that I have a higher opinion of this movie though, and okay, you can point out things that might not click here, there, whatever, but it seems to me there's an atmosphere in here, and the vampires are very vampiric. They're they're rapacious, they're monstrous, they feed on innocence. That's why I think this
Well,
movie is
I
actually
do believe
a powerful movie.
I do
That's
believe
true.
this movie
and most
does have the
movie
body
producers are
count.
the same way.
And that does help it. That I'll agree.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
there's that much
especially
blood
at the
person.
end when you see all the bodies strewn on the floor of the cave.
It seemed like the script needed to be reworked to be a little sharper focus.
Okay, maybe you're right about
I'm
the
pulling from
issues.
it. I mean, it does have a good atmosphere. I like the idea of the circus coming to town and people are being seduced by the circus for the sake of evil, but all of the mechanics coming from a writer's point of view, that's where it fell apart.
There are continuity issues.
Yeah.
And okay, and the backstory is very
Don't forget
very
the dwarf.
shallow and offbeat. Yeah.
Yeah, the dwarf was a high
his
point.
character was developed.
They just
He was
didn't do
actually a
enough
high
with him.
point. Because the thing is, if you ask me, the one character that blew it was the Doctor, because it's like they didn't sit down and flesh out his character. Because it's first we got to
Well, that's
we got to
true.
go in.
I mean, but he's kind of heroic because he's willing to run through and his son's willing to divert the bullets, distract him while he makes a run for the big city, for the
Well,
capital.
that's the Doctor, but I mean the school teacher, the guy who sets the whole thing up because he's such a pussy,
Oh, well, they should have. Yeah.
and he's the pussy to the end.
I would have thought he would have been like one of the first ones to go, to be honest about it.
I wished he had, because really the whole thing kind of starts and ends with him, doesn't it? If he had kept his wife away or not screamed to the villagers, we got to go in there because my wife is feeding kids to the fire.
Or if he didn't let them kill her when they were going to do it.
Absolutely, then there would have nobody there
Yeah.
to find ways to bring him back. Absolutely.
But anyway, so just to show again, this is the second Mirror of Life segment.
Oh, those dirty little turds, they're sneaking in. Nutty little boys.
Yeah. And how'd they get away from their parents?
Did you enjoy the circus? Where are your mother and father?
They said we weren't to come.
Ever seen a grown man naked?
And the circus is for the young. Would you like to see inside the mirror?
Craps is a boy dog.
No money.
Oh, well. For two brave boys. I think we could make an exception.
You're right here, right now. There's a Mr. Dark energy right there. Dark's pandemonium.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And why aren't they laughing as hard as the Burgermeister? They're kids. They should be laughing harder.
especially since it's the same kind of mirror each time.
Right. Except here.
What's supposed to happen? I don't know.
Would you like to know how it's done?
Although I did like the concept where it's like the mirror was a porthole
Reflection.
to the castle. I thought that was something they could have explored more. Yeah, and she was the one that was the Doctor Who assistant.
Right.
Okay.
Romana, one of John Baker's later ones.
Just vampires victimizing the innocent.
Well, they are because, and here again, they don't make vampires in here. These two are vampires because she gave birth to them.
And we all know who Daddy was.
Yeah,
They
so
know
they
Daddy was.
at least they should have been half mortal in some way, theoretically.
Well, I mean, that's probably the only way vampires can reproduce, and you're assuming in this universe that's how they reproduce.
Daddy.
And yes, that's Lala Ward. She is Romano.
Yeah, and
I'm
He's
sorry,
still
this
with us,
blood,
right?
this
Well,
blood
and
dropped
I
in here
kept-
the way they did it. That was so.
I kept this
Oh my
segment
God.
apart because I thought it was at one both annoying and interesting at the same time.
But this little interaction to get talking.
Well, yeah, they have this interaction, and I mean, it was interesting, but it was also nonsensical.
Hold on, stop,
Yeah.
wait.
Hold it, hold.
This is it. One more time.
One more time, yeah. Do it again, do it again.
And there's David Prowse.
The boys! They're here! They're here! Come quickly! The boys are here!
It makes it sound like they're safe.
I know, I didn't like the way they did that, but you could tell they weren't.
There they are.
You need to go back and finish Midget.
Why
And
they
you
didn't
know-
do it at that point? Why,
Yeah, but
why
even
the
after-
villagers didn't get upset at that point? I just
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then they should have gone back and said, now we got to destroy everything. But they didn't.
because they're willing to flip out when a kid was missing for 5 minutes earlier in the movie.
Absolutely.
But
And
now you find
here-
2 dead kids, and it's like, isn't it lunchtime?
As far as the vampire movies goes, this is actually a vampire movie.
that
It
one
does
I'll
not
give you,
Shakespeare. It's not opera.
I'll
But
give
I'm
you
just
that
saying.
I know, Pete.
because it's not the limperistic ones of the day where it's all about romance and him finding that one woman and crap like that and people trying to keep. Nah, I'm with you. A vampire is a beast. That one I'll give you, but it was still badly directed.
Thanks,
It
Pete.
lacked the focus that would have really oomphed it because they were doing some things, yeah, that they hadn't done in any of the other films.
But the villagers
Right.
were so flippin' stupid sometimes.
Well, that was actually 90% of the problem with the movie is that the villagers, they made them idiots. First they want to
Okay.
destroy, then they want to.
I'll go with you about that. Like I said, are there all kinds of issues with continuity and backstory and all that stuff? Yes.
But I will give you, that's why I've always liked vampire films better because they will address what a vampire is, not make him some type of romantic character that just happened to be turned into a vampire. I mean, there's no romance. There should be no
Yeah,
romance.
like some dark romantic angle that shouldn't be there. Like you could at least see Christopher Lee in a dark, bestial sort of way being attractive to women. I mean, especially with his power of hypnosis.
That
But-
and he's 6'5" and the handsomest man I've ever seen.
Of course.
Go
I've heard that one before.
ahead.
This is the finale. This is actually the last 10 minutes of the film when everything comes to a head.
So the villagers have kind of figured it out at this point, yeah?
Second, you didn't do this. The cross falling off the in the
Oh
church
yeah, yeah, that killed Romana. That was a that was a good kill. That was a
Doctor, over here.
yeah, but the
Yeah,
doctors
and the
come back
dancers.
and he's brought soldiers for the capital, a couple of soldiers for the
scene.
capital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
he's
so
got the
scared of those
medicine.
vampires, and all of a sudden he comes back on.
But then he fesses
let's go.
up that they've got reports of vampires throughout the country.
Right.
We must destroy the circus.
And those are the dancers, and they were only in that one other scene, and now they're dead.
They are, we'll spare you. Shot!
And only
That,
because
uh,
that's David
that-
Prowse.
That looked pretty effective.
And actually,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of find it funny that they start beating him after they shot him like that.
And I gotta admit that when they showed the previous 5 seconds, I thought he was caught up in the flames. Thought he was gonna walk out and he was gonna be.
Certainly looked like it.
Yeah.
I guess he was caught up in the flames.
The noises I heard came from here.
Why didn't you say that before? I don't know.
Yeah, when did it start? About 5 days ago.
Seriously, don't they look like some loathsome, evil bastards?
I know it. First time I saw that woman, I said that woman's a. I can't say cunt, can I?
Hey, see you next Tuesday.
Hey, see you next Tuesday. Okay.
Oh my God! Look who it is.
God, it's a killer dwarf.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Got quite the headbutt.
You know what's funny is you would think he would be hitting below the belt quite a bit.
Well, I guess he wasn't a vampire either.
I guess not.
I don't know.
So
I kinda
does she
wish-
have a moment of
Of
motherly, you know,
yeah.
eternal?
It's the only kid she's got left. The other two were killed in the church, and that Kevin never showed.
Well, again, it's like it's amazing that they're battling vampires and nobody has crucifixes.
Absolutely, that would bother me
Well-
too because we found out it's true,
Well-
but none of them decide to
Well,
carry
they,
anything.
they kind of tried it. They kind of brought it up in a couple of scenes. One, the strongman crushed
Right, because he wasn't a
it
vampire.
Well,
because he wasn't a vampire.
yeah, but they only showed there was 2 crosses and then the third one in the chapel, which there was only one cross in the chapel in a really bizarre place.
Frickin' vampire bats. Always controlled by vampires. Holy crap. Damn it, I can't pick it up with my left hand. Holy shit.
Seriously, are those some
That's my
flames
right
or left?
handed cross, yeah.
Well, look pretty close to the heart. And I know it's not a snake.
The one who should have been killed 15 years ago.
And he throws it again.
Yeah.
You know, it's
so you will. He was the one that put that one in, Dad. 30 years ago or whatever.
So my question is this. If all they had to do was pull the stake out, why didn't the vampires or the woman do it earlier than this?
Hey, wait a minute. One thing at a time.
I always figured that somehow or another, them beating off this town and revenge and stuff was helping bringing him back.
I agree with you. And the thing is, so they could have just pulled the stake out and just kept feeding him blood until it all started working.
I don't know.
Well, maybe it fit into
I would also think that. Yeah.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say they probably the whole revenge thing that it was such the whole vampires. I mean, they've obviously got an Eastern European thing here going on, so that the whole revenge thing would have been like the what it was really all about. So they had to so that he could pull it on himself or something.
Jim.
But it's interesting. They did give him the ring. Although it's on the wrong finger.
Yeah, Tim keeps trying to say something, and we keep cutting in. Tim?
No, I wasn't going to say anything except maybe they should have tried to give him a couple of edibles or something.
See, and actually, I thought it would have been funny if he suddenly sits up in the thing and somebody stakes him and he dies again.
I was kind of hoping for that. Find crosses in the darkest places. Wow, that must have had quite the pull on it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what they didn't. Yeah, that's what they needed to do all those years ago, and they never did.
Yeah, but I never thought a crossbow would have that much torque that it could actually cut all the head off completely.
Yeah, especially the size of the bolt.
Actually, some old crossbows did have quite a bit of pull weight.
Oh, I get it.
Back in the day, some of them had quite a...
Yeah, they had to pierce armor.
It was a different kind of ending, though. I'll go with you about that.
But my question is, why was it already pulled back and already been fired once?
Yeah, exactly. How did its head get to that point?
Maybe it had to get pulled back so you get exposed to the cross of it. I don't know.
And of course,
it's a horror movie.
The inexplicable ending where there's all these dead, the bodies of their dead is there. So they decided to burn everything and walk away.
Burn the shit out of that hole.
I know. The school teacher.
Wait, he deserved it anyway.
I know he did, but still, this is the town people. He's one of their own.
Not anymore, he's not.
One last. It's out there somewhere now. It's still alive somewhere.
But you don't have the whole circus, so they can't have a vampire circus too. The sad thing is, I agree with Tim that there was some scenes in here that make it worthwhile. The fact that he wore friggin' beasts who didn't care who or what they destroyed.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, they exposed vampires for what vampires could and should really be.
All right, there was a lot of vampire mayhem in this movie. Okay, I understand your point. There were some weaknesses in the script, I guess, and the story wasn't developed as well as it could have been. But if you want to talk about sheer vampire hijinks, this was a good movie.
Vampire hijinks.
My biggest thing is they kind of changed the canon some, Before this,
Well-
it's like a stake through the heart ended it. It was a good, proper kill, a totally legitimate kill. But
well, the thing is,
now with this,
every universe,
not so much. What?
every universe has to make up its own rules. Every
This is the
vampire
Hammer
universe.
universe, sister.
Will you please get me something to fucking drink?